Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Apostate Weekly. I'm your host, James.
And I'm Rion.
And today we are going to be talking about the Chevron defense. And also, we're going to be talking again about those updates from JWs on their shunning and removal policies. So,
What? There's updates?
Yeah, there's some more to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we are back. It is Wednesday, July 3rd in the year of our Lord 2024. And to start off today's show, I'm going to wish my wife a very happy anniversary because this is our 20-year anniversary. She's off to the side sitting here. Nobody can see her on the camera right now, but she's here with me right now.
Aw, happy anniversary.
And Ryan says happy anniversary.
Mommy.
Happy anniversary, Mommy.
Happy anniversary, Mommy. Let me share something with you too, real quick, while I'm on that topic, because it's our anniversary. I was gonna show
anniversary.
Picture of us from our wedding day, and this is our 20-year anniversary. So this is 20 years ago today.
Well, can you make it a little bit? Is it possible to go a little bit bigger?
Yeah.
Just a scotch.
Oh, what? I don't know what the heck Facebook just did there. Hang on. Now I got to find it again. There we go. What did you do, Facebook? What? I don't know what happened. It like changed how
it changed the setting. Oh, there you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's definitely better. Thank you. So cute.
So that was us. We actually ended up eloping, and that was in front of Olive Garden that picture was taken down in Florida.
Aw.
So
beautiful picture. So what? So you eloped? Did you just go to like the
We actually found a what do they call them? Not the Justice of the Peace. I can't think of the term right now. It's basically one of those people that has the license. We didn't go to a courthouse. We actually went to a person's house that they had the license that they could legally marry you.
Officiant?
Yeah. Oh,
there's probably some term where they can like do all of the above.
Yeah, huh?
Good morning, everybody.
No, not an ordained minister. That would be a church.
Thank you.
These little babies.
But anyways, it was somebody who had drive-through chapel in Vegas. No.
It was a drive-through in Florida. It was a McDonald's chapel.
A McDonald's chapel. We had it our way.
We're McMarried.
McMarried. I'm loving it.
I'm getting divorced. Just kidding.
No, that would be Burger King.
Oh, okay. There we go. Beautiful picture. Congratulations to both of you. I'm happy for you. That's amazing. Considering how difficult it truly is to remain married in this system of things. I'll just use JW terminology. It really is difficult. So I'm happy for you guys.
Not only that, but like, oh, thank you, Mom. It was a notary public.
Oh, notary republic. Okay, right.
Thank you. That I just didn't think of the term. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate that. Yes, it was a notary public that could do weddings. So, yeah, my mom and dad were there too.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we were one of those bad people that didn't follow the rules before we got married, so we couldn't have a Kingdom Hall wedding at the time.
Naughty, naughty.
So, we had to do it our own way, which looking back, I mean, it's kind of a positive and a negative. Like, I know she
What,
would have
not
liked to
having
have
a
had
big wedding?
would have liked to have had that wedding, but now looking back after we leave, I look at it, and I don't know how she looks at it now, because I haven't asked her, but like, I think it's a nice thing because I don't have a Kingdom Hall associated with our wedding.
Yeah, you don't have that memory of people being gathered there in honor of you. And also, I think that also like ties you to the Kingdom Hall a little bit more. And I think you just have a little more people watching over you and judging you. At least that's my take.
Well, then also we don't have pictures of, well, I mean, yes, some of the people in our pictures from that day are shunning us, but we don't have a whole congregation full of people with pictures
Yeah.
shunning us
Imagine if
either.
you had like a bunch of your wedding pictures hanging up and there's like 5 people in the pictures who won't even talk to you anymore. And you just got these pictures and you're like, no, I wouldn't want that. So you have a clean slate when it comes to your wedding, and that's a good thing.
Right. And there is nothing wrong with a couple going and getting eloped like that if they want to, because
Oh no.
when you're adult and of consenting age, that's your choice to make.
Yeah. I did for my first wedding. I'm so glad I didn't spend money on a wedding. Whew, thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
So, anyways, let's get on with the shit show, shall we?
Let's get on with the shit show, buddy. I love it. Let's show our shit.
Well, let me go to the bathroom here now.
No, don't take the camera with you.
You said let's show our shit. That was you.
Okay, well, maybe not. Let's not take it so literal. Let's have a little bit of interpretation.
That was my interpretation.
Okay, well, actually, maybe we should move on to my story because it's all about interpretation. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's go with it.
All right, y'all. I don't know if you've heard about the Chevron Deference, but the court struck it down. Give me a second. Now I've got to find this stupid where it is on my screen. I have it open now. Where is it? I have so many windows open. I'm not sure which one is the one that's open. Okay.
And those windows are also in her mind, y'all.
Yeah, quite frankly, y'all, seriously. It's on. Okay, well, I can't scroll because it's open on one of my windows here, and I'm not sure which window it's open on. So I'm just going to tell you, about the Chevron Deference. How about that?
Talk about a shit show, y'all. She doesn't even have her shit together for the shit show.
It was literally right here. Oh, it's right here in front of my face. Sorry. I was looking right at it. It was like right in front of me. I wish I could show you guys my screen. This is like me every single day. I have like 20 windows open on 2 different window browsers, on the Safari and also Chrome, because I have to log into different. It's too much. Chevron Deference. It's all about interpretation. So if you did not hear, the other day, the Supreme Court struck down the Chevron Deference. Okay, so what is it? Basically, this was an environmental protection. It also was a way for government agencies to interpret the law. So basically, like the EPA, for instance, interprets the law on how you can dump, what you're allowed to do, like with building, if it's going to interrupt any local water like any kind of water sources, any of our resources, things of that nature that could be polluted. We're just focusing on the EPA. This has more to do more than just the EPA, but I'm just going to kind of give like an example. So now what they're saying is that the courts can interpret laws. So before, we would have agencies that would do their job. There's people who have been trained. They can interpret the law and say, hey, no, actually, you can't dump that toxic waste here. Now they're removing that ability from this agency. And now the courts, individual courts, can make these rulings about what a business wants to do, where they want to dump, etc. So now we're leaving it in the hands of different court systems instead of one localized place. And for me, I see that as very, very dangerous because I don't trust our government. I don't trust people. I think they want to use and abuse this earth. Like, this is part of our indoctrination, right? We're indoctrinated to believe, as former Jehovah's Witnesses, that we can't take part in this system. We just have to let the government do what they want to do. We have to let businesses do what they want to do. If they want to take our rights, if they want to take our homes, if they want to pollute our resources, we have to sit there and allow them to do it. Well, technically, if these businesses want to pay off a court, a judge, they can do that. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but there's already courts, judges who take money to hear court cases. And if that doesn't sound fucking illegal to you, trust me, it's not, because they have stupid workarounds like this. So honestly, you guys, I feel like you should look into it. I think it's truly devastating. It's going to hurt our environment. All the environmental protections that we have are degraded. They're going to deplete our resources. I promise you this. They're going to do everything to steal the resources and exploit people. Like, this isn't just about exploitation of the earth as well. This is going to be exploitation of people.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean, if you think about it, something like that, especially if you look back at what happened in Flint, Michigan with their water supply,
that's another,
you know,
yes,
they
exactly.
could just say, well, you know, we're doing it because we want to do it and it's okay, and we could just get away with it and keep on polluting you and filling you up with lead in your water and killing you off, and we don't care, and we don't have any accountability for it.
And the thing is that I don't think people realize either, I guess I should mention, is that this might mean that there's going to be increased litigation. So instead of having an agency that kind of handles all this stuff, now everything's going to be going to court. We're going to have so many more court cases where these businesses, whatever, are just going to be able to slide money, pay people off to get whatever ruling they want. But meanwhile, this is going to cost the taxpayers so much more money because we pay for these court cases. Regardless of if the judge is getting money slid to him on the side, we are still paying for everything that happens in our judiciary system. So this is like, I'm so disgusted, y'all, especially because, like, I'm one of those people. I hate fucking colonization. And this is all tied into stealing, pillaging all of our resources and not giving an F about indigenous people who live on Turtle Island, on United States, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so pay attention. I'm truly disgusted, but this is really all I can say about the Chevron deference. I think it's a huge problem.
Anytime I hear the word Chevron, though, I think of the TV show Stargate. Chevron 1 locked in place when the gate's dialing.
Oh, yeah. I haven't watched that. And so actually, I need to finish it. We never finished it.
Which one? There's like several of them.
I don't even freaking remember.
There's
Probably the first.
There's the movie. That was the first thing that was out.
Okay.
Then there was the TV show SG-1. Then they had like Stargate Atlantis.
I think SG-1.
SG-1 was a good show. It took me till like a year or two ago when I finally watched it all the way through, and it was really good all the way through. Like, so good stuff to watch.
Yeah, I liked it. Oh, you're in a throuple?
Yeah, that's what I thought when he said that comment.
He married a couple.
Jaffa Kree, that's right. Indeed.
Ay. Anyway.
All right. Shall we go on to the JW shit show?
Yeah, let's go on to their freaking shit show. Everybody wants to change the rules. Let's hear what their rules are changing about.
So to start off with on this story, because so if anybody hasn't heard, JWs took a while to release the August 2024 study edition of the Watchtower. So you were able to see June, July, then September, October, November, December. And August was missing for a while. They finally put it back up. Now, this is in continuation of one of their governing body updates to the shunning policies and everything. So I'm going to first share, because there's a couple articles in here from this magazine that has some points of contention. And I'm going to share those things with y'all this morning because they all have to do with each other in the context of what we're talking about. So the first one here is from this article, Responding to Sin with Love and Mercy, study article 34. In paragraph 4, let's get this. Okay. In paragraph 4 here, I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. The footnote about it says, in the past, these groups were called judicial committees. So talking about the elders committees for when they meet with somebody that they're going to judge on. But since judging is only one aspect of their work, and there's another big lie, the elders are definitely judges, even though they say they're not.
It's only one aspect, James.
Yeah, it's only one aspect, but they are judges. We will no longer use that expression. Instead, we will simply refer to this group as a committee of elders. Yeah.
Where they judge.
Where they judge. Yes.
So they're not going to be called judges. They're just going to judge. I love that.
They're going to judge even though they aren't called judges.
Talk about fucking gaslighting, bro. Like, that's the shit I can't stand, and what drove me crazy as a former Jehovah's Witness, and still drives me crazy when people try to gaslight me. Like, bro, you're still a motherfucking judge.
Yeah. You know, it's the whole term, you call a duck a duck.
Thank you.
You know?
If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, quack, quack, bitch.
Exactly.
You're a mallard.
And of course, if you recall, all these changes are coming as a result of us apostates, because we're the real heroes behind the scene, bringing light to the world as far as what these people are doing to their members and how they're gaslighting them and treating them. Like Norway and Lithuania and Australia, just to name a few examples. So, this is their way of trying to back out and say, oh, look, we're making changes, right? But they're not making changes. They're only changing what they're called. And these terms they're using is just legalities, because when they finally come to court in some of these countries, oh, no, we're not a judicial committee, which implies judgment. We're just a committee of elders. Exactly.
It's all weasel words. It's a way that they can play their theocratic warfare. Well, it is warfare. It is kind of their warfare, They have their little pins, the little buttons. It is their flair.
Yes, it is. Now, let's move on to the next item here on this topic, okay?
Okay.
So let me bring up this next screen here. So this is from the same study article, okay?
Okay.
Not the same study article, same magazine, and
Okay.
it's study article 35. It's the next study article, okay? Still in paragraph 4, though, okay? So here's what the paragraph says. When an unrepentant wrongdoer is removed from the congregation, an announcement is made to inform the congregation that he is no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, the little hashtag there is a footnote, and here's what the footnote says. We will no longer refer to such ones as being disfellowshipped. In harmony with Paul's words recorded at 1 Corinthians 5:13, we will now refer to them as being removed from the congregation.
Oh my God.
So you're no longer a disfellowship person. You're a removed one.
And that changes what exactly?
Absolutely nothing.
I
Just like their committee of elders term changes absolutely nothing.
love that movie. That's what I was thinking
Oh
of
my
when you
God. I
said it.
love that. Yes.
The Office show is so funny.
That was a good movie.
Oh
Yes.
gosh. Yeah, oh my God, it's really just wordplay, word games. And oh God, it really frustrates me, y'all. And I know it frustrates you too, but I yeah, the
Well,
sky is red. Sure, the sky is red.
also,
Okay.
also to answer Jonathan's question about my flair, this is one of my pieces of my flair. Okay.
You got one flare.
I got one flair.
That works. That's good. Technically, you should have about 12 to 15 though, so
Well, where's yours? You don't even have one.
no, this is my flair. This is my flair because this is indigenous people representation. So this is my flair. I'm going up against the fucking colonialist bullshit.
I thought you were going to say your gray hairs are your flair.
That could be as well.
So now let's continue on though. So remember in that announcement when the governing body update they had about the disfellowshipping, and now at the Kingdom Hall you could say hello to them, right? And if they're not at the Kingdom Hall, that if you see them out in public, you could then invite them to a meeting. That was their update on that, right? So get this. For those of us who were your age and my age, Ryan, we don't remember it ever being any different other than you can't talk to them, period, no matter what, right?
Yep, exactly.
That was all I ever knew growing up. You don't talk to a disfellowship person. You don't associate with them. You say nothing to them.
Yep.
Until this new update where they say you can now say hello to them at the Kingdom Hall or invite them to the Kingdom Hall from out in public or by calling them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Check this out. Larchwood posted this on Twitter or
We
X, I
love
should say.
Larchwood. We love Larchwood and Ron Pimo and all the
So this is
amazing
going
JWs.
back to a Kingdom Ministry from 1974 in November. And I got it highlighted here. Can you see it on the screen pretty well?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it says here, as pointed out in the Watchtower of August 1st, 1974, page 465, a Christian may greet a disfellowship person who is not like those described at 2 John 9-11, but he would certainly not go beyond the word of hello or a greeting. So back then in 74, they were teaching that you could say hello and give them just a simple greeting. Obviously, they're still not saying you can have a conversation with them or anything, but this was back in 74 that they said it. And now their update from their video a few months ago saying that you could say hello again. And in between all that time, though, they had it where you couldn't say a simple greeting. So they're not just having this new doctrine come up because they, finally read the context. They're flip-flopping themselves back and forth because that's all they got. They are so unoriginal. They can't think of anything new that they have to go back into their old stuff and make it sound like it's new.
100%. They're reverting back to something older that I guess at one time worked, and then they decided that maybe they didn't like how it worked and they wanted to cut off all contact. And now they believe that they had it right. Now, are they going to tell Jehovah's Witnesses that this is something that they used to do?
No.
No. No.
Yeah.
Doubtful.
And here's what I was thinking about with this. So that was a 1974 article. If you remember in the 1980s, that's when they did the purge at Bethel and Raymond Friends and all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shit was
And
going
that was the And that was the point where they changed, where disassociated ones are treated the same as disfellowshipped ones. And they really got harsh on the rules at that point.
And look what
Right?
happened with Tony Morris leaving.
Yep.
Now shit's getting rewrit all over again.
Yeah. And so they had that hard stance from the 80s, and now that hard stance is finally really catching up to them and biting them in the ass.
Yep.
And now they got to flip-flop back to their old doctrines, make it sound like it's new. Oh, we got new light, or, we finally read the context of the scriptures, and this is what it actually says. Like, okay, that just tells me you weren't reading the context of the scriptures, which means all your stuff was BS. Of course, it still is.
Right.
But,
how would you trust anything that you say if you're not reading the context of the scripture, when you adamantly tell us continuously that we are the ones who need to make sure we're reading the context of the scriptures, which we never were. We never were, by the way. That was a trick. That was one of their word tricks.
Exactly. And that's what they always did. They always threw the blame on the people when we actually had it right and they didn't, but we weren't teaching that at the time. So it's your fault. You were trying to go ahead and, be ahead of God's chariot.
Yeah, God's chariot.
Bitch, we're just smarter than you dumbasses.
The three-legged donkey pulling a wooden cart with square wheels.
Yeah, and one of the legs is broke.
That's God's chariot. Oh, goodness gracious.
So that's their whole shtick going on now.
Their shtick.
A
bunch of dicks in their shtick.
It's just a bunch of gaslighting, manipulation, carrot and stick stuff, making it seem like they're being progressive when actually they're being regressive because they're regressing back to their old teachings.
Yeah. And they won't, and the fact that they won't tell everybody that.
No. And that's why it takes,
people find it on their own. What if, if we put this out there and JWs do see it? Like, I wonder if it will trigger something in their mind. Like, hey, wait a minute. They are right about that. The Watchtower does say in the 74 that it's okay if we give a simple greeting. Why did they change it? And why are we going back? Probably not.
Yeah. And it also begs the question, well, if you really are God's organization and have the truth, if this was true in 74, then you changed it and now it's true again. Which part of this are you all lying about?
Right. Does that mean that there was all these years, 40 plus years of almost 50 years, actually, 50 years basically of lies?
Yeah.
Or like, what's the what's the answer here? Because that's the question.
Because you can't tell me one thing was true 50 years ago, then tell me it's a lie, and then tell me it's true again.
Mm-hmm.
2 plus 2 is going to equal 4 50 years ago and 50 years from now. It's not going to change.
Like, something's not adding up. Somebody's not telling the truth. Somebody's not being forthcoming. But then they make them feel bad for questioning. They'll come out with some kind of study article. They'll start having talks about how we're not supposed to be not supposed to be questioning the authority of the organization via God's Holy Spirit. They'll do that zigzag thing. Jesus barely won't be freaking mentioned anymore. They're like basically Jesus reinvented.
Mommy.
And that's
so
start calling them mother organization.
Mother. We should start. Oh, no, because can we please not? Because it gives such a negative connotation to mother. And honestly, it's just so not fair. It's so not fair because it's all daddy. It's all daddy. Father. We can call them father. Father.
So, yeah. And
that's wild,
that's
y'all.
a good question. How many current JWs know that they called out excommunication by the Catholics back in the day? You're right. Not very many do. I didn't know that when
Great
I was
point.
in.
I certainly didn't know that when I was in. I know that we didn't like the Catholics. It was like a high school rivalry that we had with other religions.
Yeah, and then when
Catholics
I
were like top tier.
read that 47 Awake magazine that said how the Catholics excommunicate and we're God's organization, we could never do that. And then they changed their stuff in the 50s on that. Like,
Right?
so, I mean,
Flip flop, flip flop.
if you, again, if you really just start looking at it and seeing what changes they've made, and a lot of them, they'll change from teaching one thing, teaching something else, to teaching that one thing again. You know, it's not progressive at all. It's regressive when they keep going back and forth on the same exact topic. There's nothing new about it.
And I don't like, can I ask you a question? I don't know how the audience feels, but and look, I'm a very gullible person in the fact that I will trust, like I trust people until they like show me like something different. I trust people. And I personally just remember always feeling like I trusted the organization so much. There was nobody like them. Nobody so honest and forthcoming and wanting to do the right thing. And like they would say, oh, well, the new light is because we realized that, something that we were doing could be done better. And Jehovah was like, I just felt like, wow, like how kind this organization is that not only do they correct their mistakes, they course correct, but they also tell us. Like, isn't this amazing? So I personally always just trusted whatever they said, even if it didn't make sense. And I just feel like there's so many people who do the same thing. And when I finally woke up, I think that's probably what hurt me more than anything was the fact that I trusted them more than myself. I put them above me and come to find out like we do today.
Yeah, but I think some of the other problem with that is especially with people who are still in the organization to this day, they will trust what the governing body is saying, even when they're shown proof to the contrary.
True.
Even when
have that.
Yeah, because like you could show them this article from 74, for example, and they'll deny it. Oh, well, that's just apostate material or something. They'll just blow it off like that. And I'll be like, no, go look it up for yourself. It's on their own online library. Like, if any Jehovah's Witness should happen to see this show today, all the stuff that I showed from the JW website was directly from their online library. You don't believe me? Go look it up for yourself. It's not like it's some apostate website. I'm showing you your own stuff. Your own stuff is the apostate stuff.
100%, James.
Because
they do it for themselves.
If you were back then in 1974 and you believed that you shouldn't talk to anybody disfellowshipped or even say hello to them, you could be disfellowshipped for apostasy because you were teaching things that they didn't teach. If you go to the 1980s and that was true now, and you say, well, know what? I think we should be able to say hello. You could still be an apostate for that. So you got to believe and teach only what their current teaching is. Otherwise, you're an apostate to them.
Right. Right. So if for whatever reason you're not up to date on something, technically, you could be considered an apostate.
Yeah. And nowadays, the witnesses should be thanking us apostates for helping them have a little bit of leniency and change in these rules. Because if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be getting these changes.
Really? We are the ones forcing their hand. Well, people like Jan and etc. They're the one, but truly,
Yes.
we also do take a part. Like, I don't want us to discount what we do. Social media is huge, and I'm realizing that now, what social media can actually do. So I actually kind of want to take my statement back. I'm going to be like the Jehovah's Witnesses. I have new light. No, in fact, what we do is very important. And not everybody has the cojones to do it. I watch so many JWs like do their thing, but they don't talk about some of these hard pressing issues, but we do, because it takes a lot of freaking guts to do it. It really does, especially when you're trained as, I want to highlight that again, as Joe and Fran, when you're groomed to be a sheep. Actually, speaking up it's scary.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's especially because people who do often lose more when their family and friends who were still in find out. You know, and then you get that extra isolation of being alone. But at the same time, those who do speak up are brave because they're actually the ones speaking the truth about what happened. If you are strong enough to stand up and speak about it, even with the consequences that you know you'll get, you are much braver than the ones who just stay in that organization and keep quiet and complicit.
Yep. Yeah, it's difficult. It truly is difficult. It can change a lot of things, but whatever.
Now,
I can't be that indoctrinated person not speaking up. I just can't.
I did hear also, and I was trying to find out some more information on it, and I wasn't able to. Hopefully I can find this out for next week's show. That they're making changes to the whole marking talk by getting rid of it.
Oh, I saw that as well.
But I don't know where it's at, and I don't want to really talk about it until So if they are getting rid of that, that would be a good thing, because
but what does it mean that now individuals can just mark each other, or like, what are they like? Does that mean that now cliques, like, listen, y'all, this could be like where cliques form and fractions, like splinters. We could be looking at like a huge splintering. I love it. I love to see it splintering. Let's do that.
Is that what it said? Because I only saw like a headline on it. That's why I'm mentioning it. You actually sound like you know more about it than I do. So
yeah, I did read. I read about that, and then I read about the change of the disfellowshipped or whatever removed.
If you find that stuff on marking or know where it's at, please send it to me. I want to read on it.
Okay, yeah. Actually, where did I read it? I was reading it last night, and I was like, no freaking way. I was like, that is interesting, because if they leave it up to like the congregation individuals to start marking each other, like there were already cliques in the Kingdom Hall. I just know that it's people gravitate towards each other, right? But if big issues come up with, like, say maybe a congregation wants to be more relaxed with the whole removed thing. What if they want to have more than just a hello? Maybe they want to be able to start mingling only at the like you can associate at the congregation, that's the testing ground. But then the other fraction is like, no, we have to stick exactly to what the literature says, and it says only greetings. That could cause like a huge rift. We love to see it. Oh my God, this is amazing.
That would be amazing.
What?
You could actually almost see people splintering off and starting their own little groups, separate from it.
Right.
If that happens.
What if now everybody just decides to start meeting at Brother So-and-so's house for service on Saturday instead of the Kingdom Hall, because it's just too much and they don't like how they're treating certain not newcomers, but people who are coming back who, were disfellowshipped or now removed, right? Like,
Now, Jonathan, this is not a place to be advertising your video for later today that everybody should definitely go and watch.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, seriously, Jonathan, everybody going to watch your a video about this specific topic, you bringing it up, I don't even know why you're bringing it up, because it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, we do not do that on this show here, okay? Even though I'm posting it on the screen, talking about it. No, I'm just.
Please, you guys, make sure you go watch that. I will definitely be watching that later today. I have not even posted on my channel. I used to be like the news lady. I've like posted nothing about JWs. I feel so bad. I need to do that. But that's
Well,
amazing.
that's
Please
okay.
watch that.
I've been so stinking busy with building these cabinets at home and work. And, like, I didn't even
Just a
sit down.
carpenter.
Like, I usually try to sit down and get stuff together for the show on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, when I have some time. I literally didn't sit down until last night to figure out tonight's topic, even though I'd seen the stuff on the August Watchtower, and I kind of knew I was going to go with that. But like, to sit down and read through it and know what it was about, like, I didn't get to do that till last night. So
I get it. Like sometimes I'm so frazzled. Like even when I started the show and I started to talk about the Chevron, I knew exactly what it was, but I couldn't fucking tell you why. I was struggling to get the words out.
right.
Just how it is. Just how it is.
Okay. Well, okay, Jonathan, we will stop advertising your show. We're sorry. We won't do that again.
I'm never going to advertise Ex Witness Awake show again later today about the very topic.
What time are you releasing it, Jonathan?
Advertise, advertise, advertise. Y'all, this is some big news. I got big feelings. I'm kind of excited. Like I don't foresee like this thing going down. Like I'm not seeing it going down like the Titanic. I'm just seeing it fizzle slowly.
Yeah, and
And they're
it
trying
seems
to
to.
figure out how to gain some grip again.
Well, it is fizzling because you could see they're desperate with all these changes. They are so desperate to keep people in. They really are. And it's like they're trying to hold on to water in the palm of their hands. It just keeps slipping right out. And the
Yeah.
more they try to cup it with their other hand, the more it keeps on slipping out.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. It is just slipping through their fingers. They're losing
So
control. They're trying to find control, but like they're trying to pump new leadership into it. I wouldn't be surprised if a few more of the old heads get taken down as well. Like y'all, they're getting old. Like we've been saying it, but their health cannot be good. Like what they're dealing with, the lies, the knowledge of what they're doing is actually evil, because I know 100% that they know what they're doing is evil.
yeah.
So like anybody who doesn't see that, like y'all need to wake up. They're
And then
evil, disgusting human beings, and that weighs heavy on your heart, and it's eating them up.
and it's
Yum, 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 yum.
and it's being exposed more and more because of the internet, and you can't stop it.
Right.
They cannot
And
stop the
they
exposure
made
they're
that
getting.
dumb mistake of diving right in. They
Yeah.
thought, ooh, let's dive on into that. Well, you dove in, babe.
Yeah,
You
they dove in.
certainly got in that water quick.
Yeah, because if you remember at first when the internet first came out, they said to stay off the internet because of this. And then they started getting onto the internet, and the floodgates of information have opened up,
Right.
and they cannot stop it. And they are trying to put a bandage on a submarine, and it ain't working.
Honestly, like the only way I foresee them really possibly plugging this hole is if they come up with their own like social media app for just Jehovah's Witnesses. But then that would cause a whole nother world of issues, probably. But I could see it possibly happening.
Oh, you'd still get apostate infiltrating those apps
Oh
anyway.
yeah, oh yeah.
So
You can never.
you're
Yeah,
not going to stop the
you can't.
apostates out there from any version of social media, whether they make their own up or they use Facebook, Twitter, etc. It's going to still get out there, period.
Because people have like nowadays, like that whole video we watched with the girl who did lives or whatever to sell her jewelry, the jewelry that she makes, like take care of her dying grandma or whatever the frick. And some woman was jealous and upset about the way she was presenting herself, like that she was haughty or something. Like the girl's just trying to hustle and make money, and you're putting her down. But anyway, social media is where people connect and sell things. So you're not going to be able to get people offline. It's
No, you're
impossible
not.
nowadays.
especially when everybody has a cell phone in their hand these days and they can access it anywhere, not just at the computer at home when they have time off.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Anything,
but
anywhere.
anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap up the show for the day.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Everybody, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so this gets out to all the socials and algorithms out there to keep this channel growing. And I'm gonna try to get into that for next week, the marking, and bring that information out so I can have something to back it up with what I say and all that, so we can
We'll talk. Let's do
more
that. We can focus on a JW topic next week and deep dive into that.
So with that being said, we love y'all. We hope y'all have a good week, and we will see you next week.
In the August 20. Yeah, that's right. Maybe we'll talk about that too.
That's what we were talking about today.
Oh,
it's
back
right. It's back up on their website now.
Oh, okay. I see. I see.
It was taken down, and now it's finally back up, because when I shared the screen showing the articles, that was the August 2024 Watchtower on today's show. So,
that was right. Sorry.
Yeah, because I guess they had to edit it to make sure it was, with their new beliefs or whatever you want to call it. All right. So that being said, have a great week, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.